Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And we are giving away 250 XRP the first time a video hits 1500 likes within 24 hours. And all you have to do is make sure you press the like button, make sure you are subscribed, and make sure you comment something down below. And also guys, let me know in the comment section down below if you think XRP will still pump this month. Put it down below in the comments, let me know what you think. And having said that, I just went full enthusiasm, like 150% enthusiasm into this, the future of CBDC's paper. I read the title. I saw the undertitle, Why All Central Banks Must Take Action, and oh boy, I went to sit right in my chair and I was excited, only to see, boom, at the top here, 2021, okay, 2020, CBDC white paper 2020, it is an old paper, guys. This article has lied to us. It is not a document which has just come up or anything like that. That's really what I kind of fetched, but no, this whole document is pretty damn old, and it's basically because Ripple just reignited the hype by sharing it over on Twitter, in my belief, because of a couple of things. In our previous video, we talked about why XRP has basically been cleared. Honestly, it's basically been cleared from being a security as of this point. Maybe in the past, okay, but as of this point, done. Maybe that was also a trigger for Ripple to be like, you know what? We talked about the future of CBDCs before. Let's kind of rebrand that right now. Let's rebrand a little bit because we got the private ledger going on for central banks. Okay, we kind of had a part 1 March, and now let's reignite the XRP specific flame because, well, I mean, honestly, XRP has been cleared, so yeah, it could be a pretty good bridge currency now. Maybe it's been kind of confirmed by Ripple themselves from the inside that XRP now has the ability to become this bridge currency, where first they had a little bit of doubt because of the lawsuit and didn't want to push it too much. Maybe that is also why Ripple took a little bit of a deviated approach by not talking about XRP specifically in they actually did, but not too much in the title here and not too much direct towards XRP, but kind of as a sideline, because when I read this too, I actually just reread it here to quickly get myself up to speed. They actually also do talk a couple of times about XRP specifically and the fact that it can become the neutral bridge asset. However, point being, I kind of believe Ripple has confirmed it once more for us, all right, by quickly sharing this over on Twitter. And that is because whenever they shared this type of stuff on Twitter, what they are doing is promoting it and basically putting money in so that other people, we don't know who they're targeting, but all right, other people will see those types of things. And I quickly checked to verify everything. Yes, there's no newer CBDC white paper. This is just the quote-unquote old one that we already had before. Quickly checked through Ripple's documents and all their resources and everything, but no. All right, this is, by the way, how you can get the thank you page. If you ever want to download something, there's often a way to do it without really downloading or putting your info in. Usually, whenever Ripple puts up a document, you have to fill in all your details and company details and whatnot. But if you look around to the website, there's often a way to go around it, or you just type in some BS details and they'll still send you the document. So yeah. Having said that, guys, I've still been trading crypto, all right? A lot of people ask me, Dusty, where do you trade on? What are you doing? You're talking about hundreds of percent profit on Bitcoin trades. Where are you doing that? Prime XBT, Prime XBT, Prime XBT. A link will be down below because, main reason, Binance messed me up a couple of times. A lot of people don't understand. Whenever you are trading with leverage, you're trading a little bit more severe than the money you have. Things become a little bit more on the second or on the minute if you are, not that steady in your shoes. And I have an article about that specifically, which we'll talk about a little bit later, which actually refers to how the psychology of trading changes the more money you have. For example, let's say your salary is $25,000 a year. If you're trading with $5, hey, you're completely good, right? That's the kind of the same thing as thinking, okay, your salary is $100,000 a year. All of a sudden trading with $100, for example, I'm just taking this out of proportion to give you guys a better example. That's going to be like, oh, okay, it's just $100. It doesn't really cost me much. But then if your salary is $1 million a year, like, I'm just playing around with $3,000. It doesn't really matter that much. And that kind of goes on higher and higher and higher, right? That's the logical way that money moves. If you're just keeping an honest percentage of money that you have free, if you take off the expenses, the more money you get, the higher that percentage is going to be of money that's kind of play around money for yourself most of the time. However, think about it from a different perspective as well. For everybody, it goes that the more money of your play money, the more percentage you use, the scarier it gets. For example, if you have $25,000 a year, if you're starting to trade with 1,000, that might be 1,000 of the $2,000 you have of free money every year, which is 50%, right? That's what you're trading with now, or that you at least have in your trading account. For a person with, let's say, $10 million, doesn't matter how much money they have. It could also be that the $2 million that they're playing with right now is, again, 50% or even 100% of their total free money that they have a year to play around with, or their free money in total that they have to play around with. And that's when things get a little bit scary. And it's not that there's a certain limit to this in terms of money. It's not that this amount of money is going to be the same for everybody, but there's a certain switch where people just get a lot more afraid to trade with things. And again, I don't have the article open, I think. No, it's not. I have it on the side here. But it's just GSX. Let's quickly see if I still have it open here somewhere. This is what we're going to be talking about in the next video, guys, if you were wondering. But no, I can't really find it. I think it's this one right here. Many people over-risk or take forced trades when their portfolio is near a psychologically significant number, like $100,000, $500,000, or $1 million, etc. Being aware of this saved my ass when I was really eager to hit big milestones. That's one part of it, which basically means if you're close to round numbers, you're often going to trade a little bit differently or a little bit stranger. The second part of it is that the more money that you're exposing in your trading account, the more difficult you find it to execute trades or to stay with the strategy. And that is also why I tell you guys, don't listen to me, don't follow me, because obviously my strategy is going to be different than yours, because I know exactly how much money I want to put in, exactly what I'm going to be doing. However, I will require perfect connection. If I don't have that, I'm not doing anything at all. And with Binance, that's again what the story came down to. I had a couple of instances where I wanted to execute a trade where I didn't put the order in up front. I had to do it right now, but the exchange was bugging out. And this happens very often when things are laggy a little bit, and I cannot have that if I'm trying to buy something, especially if there's more money in my account. And I'm just kidding. I'm gonna get too tensed up, all right? Because I have a lot of money in my trading accounts nowadays. If I want to go for something crazy, I usually put in more money, for example. And if it were to only be, let's say, $100 that I'm trading with, or $25, it ain't gonna be a big problem if there's a 5-second delay. All right, I'll get 0.03% profit less. I don't care. But the more money you get, the more you're just tingly on the very smallest of percentages. Because for some people, that's not me, all right? But for some people, a 0.1% difference could mean a house, right? That's for some people. So that little split second of better connection, which Binance is messing me up on a couple of times, I can't have that. A little bit too long of a story, but it's a very important one to understand, all right? It's actually two main points. One, make sure you choose your exchanges properly. I like this one. If it ever turns bad on me, I'll be easy to leave, all right? Don't get me wrong. But right now, there's also a deposit bonus, so you can kind of play around with it for a little bit. And the second one is be careful that your strategies right now for trading might not actually work the more money you get, because it gets a lot more difficult, increasingly more difficult, to hold yourself in the line, basically. And one can easily talk about this in theory. All my theories here, they work out, at least most of them work out properly, and you could trade them all in theory very nicely. But putting your own money there and executing the trade exactly to the core is often very difficult. I've told you guys a couple of times as well. In this case here, in this scenario, right? I told you guys I'm buying right here. I did. Luckily, we got about 140% profit in the end. But if I were to take it out a little bit longer, I could have easily gotten myself a 10%, for example, return. Because I kind of, in my head, I already thought, you know what, we'll actually get close to this resistance, most likely. Or at least to the 55-cent resistance, something like that. But I didn't, all right? I could have easily gotten myself a 10% profit as well, but I didn't. This would have been 200% profit on my trade. However, I only took it 7%, which means 140%. And guys, that's where it is right around here or so is when I, for example, would have ended my trade. You know how hard it is internally to not exit your trade once you see things go down, 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 down? Because think about it, guys. Let's say you were trading with $1,000. All of a sudden, you're seeing here, boom, 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 you boom, 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 boom. You see, okay, you would have most likely stopped it already. But let's say you didn't put your close in just quite yet. You see your money, for example, here, and all of a sudden, being 6.7, 6.8%, you're seeing 600, no, wait, this is 6.5% times 20. You do the math on your own. Let's say it's about 130% or so in profit that you see, and you're just waiting like, oh, are we going to get to my end price? Just trembling in your freaking shoes. All of a sudden, boom, you're only at about, let's say, I don't know, 40% profit or so. You're shivering now. You're going crazy. And then, boom, you go back to the top and you'll exit. But this dip is so scary. The more money you put in, the scarier it gets. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this. It's maybe because I just see so many people mess themselves up completely by not knowing that very simple rule of just hold on to your strategy. Don't improvise with the flow. Hold on to it very steadily. I don't change my strategy. I don't all of a sudden go for 10%. I don't all of a sudden go for 6.5. I go for either 7 or nothing because that is the strategy. If you're going to deviate from it, make sure you deviate constantly and basically adjust the strategy towards it. But don't just go messing around because you're going to mess yourself up one of these days and you're only going to hit yourself. Sorry, I'm getting serious here because I know some people who lost millions of dollars for just their head messing up. The more money you get, the harder it gets, guys. Understand. It's a very important lesson to learn early on if you're not that heavily into trading for too long. And then I've also wanted to quickly explain how the sentiment has changed surrounding XRP. Everybody's now screaming strong buy, strong buy, strong buy. Another fun story is you shouldn't listen to these strong buys. You shouldn't even listen to these gurus on Twitter. You shouldn't even listen to me when everybody or anybody says that you should buy something. Because from one degree, people have their own agenda. So here, for example, all these people are long. Could be that they have an own long position open, so they just want you to fill it. Could also be that they just want some attention because maybe positive news works better for them. I don't know. Could also be that they have no idea what they're talking about. They're just sharing a random analysis, and that's basically that. Because once more, that this guy posts here a compression and sees kind of a trend doesn't mean anything would actually come from this. It is basically just an idea, and you can react to this, and you might agree. But it doesn't really mean that there's anything to this, all right? You might say so, but it doesn't really mean anything necessarily. Same thing for an analysis like this one here. Some people will believe in it, some people won't. For example, one might say this has been overcomplicated. You're making things more difficult than it needs to be. Some others might say this is not even what I usually use to trade, bro. Anything will work. It's just the idea that, guys, don't listen to these. Do your own analysis. Maybe you watch one YouTuber and he's very good at analysis. Hey, that's all good. But don't use him to buy or sell. Even if I'm talking about it, don't use me to buy or sell. Use it as a basis to develop your own strategy. Whew, I made it a little bit of a pushy episode, huh? I have the best interest for all you guys in heart, all right? Think about that. I'm not trying to ramble here to sell you anything, not trying to do anything for you. Literally, just me to you. Honestly, just think about everything you're doing here on a trading perspective. Even if you're just holding, don't buy coins because somebody else told you to. I've had so many picks because people told me to, which is kind of hypocritical. But that's also because I personally look up the coin really quickly and look into it. There's one fun story of, what's the coin name again? Encash. I bought it partially because of my bot back in the day, but also partially I kept because people said, nah, it's actually quite a good coin. That cost me 1 Bitcoin back then. Literally 1 Bitcoin. So that's right now about $57,000 that it cost me. That small little mistake. It literally, I just put in, because it kept buying cheaper, buying again. And eventually it bought 1 Bitcoin worth of Encash. And yeah, I had to sell it eventually because it just kept going down worse and worse and worse. One big mistake, not the biggest mistake of my life, but still one thing I can hopefully prevent for some people. Make sure you don't just hold on to things because other people tell you or buy things because other people tell you. Buy it because you think that is the right thing to do, so you can only hate yourself if things go wrong and not always spite somebody else or think that you should have listened to me, your gut. No, make sure it's all in your head yourself. I'm so sorry for rambling a little bit, but it's very important. And then XRP purchase back Ripple, arguing that it is not a security. This is actually just talking about XRP community coming back into the Ripple lawsuit, or coming to back up Ripple inside the lawsuit, or basically actually going in for their own personal interests. I have another threat on Deaton coming up in the next video. It's going to be pretty big. However, yeah, honestly, guys, it's all not that relevant anymore because I once more believe that XRP will not be deemed a security anymore from now on forward. So this is all just extra. But in the end, I don't really believe, I honestly really don't believe that XRP is going to be turning out to be a security. And then kind of critical in comparison to what I just said, but all right, go check out GSX, as I've said before. Just go check it out at least, all right? Because I personally have a couple $1,000s in this, and I'm hoping it can go times 20, 25, 30, something like that. And it's the world's first gold-backed crypto. Once more, don't just buy it because of me. Go check it out. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I could lose all my money. But I'm hoping to really make it big because it's the first of its kind. And very often those coins do crazy, so I'm hoping for it. And right now it's a 5% bonus, plus a 5% bonus for using my link. And there's only 2 more days of sale left. So once this is over, you cannot buy the coin anymore. You can only buy it once it's on the exchanges. This is the pre-sale, which makes it cheap. That is that. See you guys again in another one. Sorry for rambling a little bit.